have a
wanted to add?
problem with it.
Hmm?
I agree.
Okay,
All
may I
right.
have your card so we can keep in touch and I can give you the progress of what's going on?
All right, ma'am. So that's my ruling. That based on the testimony presented, I find that the violation does exist. I find in favor of the city. I will give you the 60 days to hopefully everything would have been transferred into your name and you're able to pull the permit and resolve the problem. Okay, so you have until August 4th, 2015. Our next hearing date is August 5th, 2015. If it's fixed, then you just need to let the officer know, and then you won't have to come back here. Otherwise, I'd want you to come back and be able to tell us where we are, what progress have been made.
Okay.
Okay? And if this matter is still in probate court, you know, if you need an extension, at which point we can discuss that. But for now, your abatement date is August 4th, 2015, and the daily fine amount will be 50.
Okay, fair.
And maybe
Thank
she
you.
could, even preliminarily, maybe visit the building department and get an idea of what you need and whatnot in the meantime.
Okay. Okay,
All
I'll
right?
take that advice. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Clark, your pictures?
The next case is item number 73, Walter Miller, Officer Reading and Christie, case number CEBPR 2015-00007, item number 73.
Good evening.
Hello,
Hi, please state your full name and your relationship to the property, please.
my name's Abigail Miller. I'm an owner. My name is third on the list under my parents.
Friedel and Christie, Code Compliance, City of North Miami Police Department. This is a case that was, actually, I rescheduled the case a couple of times. We started back in February in regards to the erection or construction of a fence at the property. A ticket was issued back in February, and the homeowners did come in, pay the ticket, and start the permit process. However, the permitting process was, or whatever they submitted was denied back in on April 3rd, and I don't see any additional paperwork on our records. I have not spoken to them since. I don't know what's going on, but I do have pictures for the record.
Okay.
Was this your properties? Do the pictures accurately reflect your property,
Yes.
ma'am? Yes.
And I'm sorry I didn't introduce. He lives with me. He's my fiance. He helped with the fence.
Okay.
And he's been in touch with Officer Christie also.
All right, I've reviewed the photographs. You had something you wanted to add?
Yes, I've been talking with zoning. The whole reason that I was denied the permit was because of, I am supposed to have a 25-foot setback for any kind of fencing. And because that we're on a corner lot, we have two front yards. So the reason that we, constructed a fence without the permit was because, she works 6 days a week, I work 6 days a week. And during the beginning of the year, there was a point where we had some time where we could put it up. There was what looked like, a break-in or someone backed over the fence. So we have animals, so I had to do something. So I put the fence up, and we were going to apply for the permit and do everything necessary. And obviously, we were cited before then. But I can, attest that it's far past, any kind of structural compliance than that there is. And, you know, we looked at our neighbors who have corner lots as well, and they have, you know, solid, you know, fencing across, you know, their whole property. So, you know, obviously, you know, I mean, I have the ordinance here that they were denying us.
And also, we have photos of the corner lots that are far more solid and against regulation that they're holding us to. Our lots right around us have exactly what they're penalizing us for.
Yeah, the actual linear length of the fence is only about 40 feet. I actually got a survey here, and, you know, that's what had taken, you know, a while to get the survey and then to go through permitting. And I've been, you know, back and forth with zoning trying to find some way, because obviously it's possible to be, you know, approved for a permit, because, you know, I have photos of just neighbors surrounding, like literally a 30-second walk. So it's obviously possible. I mean, do you want to see where the fence is as far as, you know, the property line on the survey?
Not really, because I wouldn't be able to tell you, you know, whether or not it's in compliance or not. You're saying it's the reason why you've been denied is because if the 25,
It's not
25?
opaque.
I'm sorry?
It's not opaque.
Okay.
There was an existing chain link fence there. And the last thing I got from zoning is that there's a call to order to get that actually changed. It was for April 6th. And if that is approved, then we will be in full compliance, because this is not, you know.
So
I
you
guess-
missed the deadline.
No,
Hold
it
on.
was for, you know, they said it's still going. It was presented. And now I guess there's at the end of the month, June 27th, I believe.
I believe what he's referring to is that there's gonna be an recommended ordinance change to allow for opaque fences, but
Yeah.
you still have the issue of,
And
getting a
PC
permit.
9-15 is what it is.
but you still have the issue of getting a permit, right?
Yeah, but this would allow me to be approved without a problem.
The change in the ordinance is saying that
Correct.
will allow him
Oh,
to get the
okay.
permit.
Yeah. And, you know, obviously, it's illegal right now, but, I mean, I have pictures of neighbors, like I said, right here, that have far more linear footage and, you know, taller, you know, solid walls. I mean,
Your Honor, I have no objection to tabling this for 30 days, and we'll see what happens. I don't know whether it's gonna pass or not,
Yeah.
so
I mean, but
if
is there
it does, then,
Is there any way that, I mean, I went and pulled the permit that my neighbor had pulled, and they were approved through the entire thing, so something,
Okay, you probably need to submit that to the decision makers and say, why is it that, you know, my neighbor was able to pass and I'm not? But what the city attorney is saying, that it may become a moot issue if they actually rule in your favor. What is it, at the June, whatever
June
time here?
27th, I think it is.
Okay, maybe you guys need to make sure that you're present and rally your neighbors and show up for this hearing and let them know that, you know, it's an issue, and so that they can vote in favor of it. I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're gonna table it for 30 days.
All right, sounds good.
So hopefully, if the ruling comes down in your favor, then you're able to pull the permit, and so this will become a moot issue.
Well,
Okay.
also just to add, when I spoke to zoning, you know, once I got the permits that they had pulled, I went back there and spoke with them, and they said they don't know how they did it. So, I mean,
Cool.
it's like a magic thing or something. I don't know.
Could we also just put on record that if this particular item does not pass, that he has to follow all the new rules or the rules that were set, because his neighbor does have whatever type of fence that it is, does not give him the okay to have
yeah,
that?
yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing, we can't really comment on what your neighbor has or doesn't have, right? So that's not what's before us. It's
Mhm.
like you're driving and you may be speeding and you get stopped and you tell the officer, well, look, you know, 5 other cars were also speeding, so you shouldn't give me a ticket. So that doesn't necessarily, that's not a successful argument. I think what's more persuasive is you can perhaps, as the judge mentioned, bring that to the zoning officer, the building official, so that you can better understand what you need to do
Okay.
and come into compliance, okay?
All right.
That's number 73. Miller? Oh, the folks, you should tell them not to come sign it if you haven't signed it.
Please come up and sign. Sign in, please. Sir?
If you haven't signed in, please sign in at this juncture. Thank you.
The next case is item number 38. I'm sorry, on item number 40, Jennifer Anise Jordan, Officer Edmund Fitzel, CEBMP 2014-00008, item number 40.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Your Honor.
What is your name, sir?
Gene Jordan,
Jean Jordan, and your relationship to the property?
owner.
Okay. Mr. Jordan, do you need a translator?
No.
Okay.
Edmund Fitzel, City of North Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This property was found guilty back in April. The property was mailed a notice to appear on May 27th. Property was posted with notice to appear May 28th. Affidavit of service was filed. I checked with the building department as of today. You recall, Your Honor, that you tabled this for a couple of months. He did apply for his permit with the building department. He does have a process number in hand, but as of 2 days ago, his electrical was approved, but his plumbing was denied. I just spoke to him, the gentleman in the back. He needs to go back to the building department and find out what basically what it says here is that the plans required final derm approval, and the plumbing fixtures and schedule are missing, so that some documents need to be given to the building department that were missing for the plumbing part of the permit.
Sir, do you have someone working on this project with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And they're aware that you were denied, the plumbing part was
No, I just
denied?
found out.
You just found out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so electrical is approved, plumbing denied. What else are we, just plumbing?
That's the only thing that I saw that was denied, and I'm sure I didn't notice that the building department had contacted him, so he said he hasn't. So he was just notified just now in the back of the room. I just talked to him. He's going to go to the building department tomorrow, so he has come a long way since last year. So we are looking maybe to give him another 30 days to see if he can get the plumbing part of this permit. He's got a process number. He doesn't have a permit yet. So if he can get the plumbing straightened out, then he'll have his permit will be permitted.
Okay, sir. We're gonna give you another 30 days to get it done, okay?
Thank you,
But
Your
you
Honor.
have to move on it,
Yeah,
okay?
I keep working.
All right, sir.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank
Mhm.
you.
The next case, item number 42, Justin Kasu, has been postponed a month by Officer Clark. The case number is CEXP 2015-00210.
Can you repeat the number again?
Item number 42.
Okay. Is that the gentleman here? Oh. All right, sir. We're gonna table it? We're gonna reset it? Okay. All right, sir. Thank you for coming in, and next time, make sure you sign your name, okay? Because I know that I've seen you sitting there all night with your kids. These are your children? Okay, we apologize. You just lost your wife? My condolences. My condolences to you and your children. Okay, sorry we kept you waiting. You didn't sign in. We didn't know. Okay? Thank you, sir. We're going to table it, and then hopefully take the time to talk to Officer Clark so that you know what the violation is and start working on it. Okay? All right, sir, thank you. Good night. Bye, guys. All right, we're gonna say thank you to our interpreters. All right, thank you. You're new? You're gonna be our new interpreter? Okay. Oh, wonderful. What is your name? Mikhail. Beautiful name. All right, Mikhail. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, sir. All right. All right, city attorney, you're excused.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody want a short break? No? All right, if we don't need a break, then we can. Okay, no problem. Let's.
50030.
She was gonna casually leave. Is a inoperable vehicle case. It was previously adjudicated. I have a picture. The vehicle still remains. If you would like to see it.
Yes, please. All right, reviewing photograph. Did you tell me about notice for today's hearing?
The notice for today was mailed on May 13th, 2015. And the notice May 21st, 2015.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violations still exist. I also find good notice, and given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. This matter was adjudicated, and therefore, the daily fine amount of $25 is hereby ratified.
The next case is item number 41, Julianne Lutterman, Officer Shannon Sanders, case number CEDSP 2015-00006, item number 41.
All right, you've been learning well. Shannon Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Appreciation of Surrounding Properties. This case was today. The violation still remains. Proper service was given. I am showing the certified mailing was sent out May 27th, along with the posting of the property. I have pictures of the property if you would like to see.
Yes, please. Okay, reviewing photographs taken on this date by the code enforcement officer.
While you're looking at the pictures, it kind of goes hand in hand with the nuisance case, so we would like for that property to be declared a nuisance as well, with a guilty finding.
Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. I find good notice. The owners have failed to appear. I hereby find in favor the city, adjudicate guilty, and with an abatement date of June 30th, 2015. And I will also declare this property a nuisance.
Thank you.
Sorry, $50 per day.
Next case is item number 3, CEMHS 2015-00002, Officer Wayne Clark. 00002.
Wayne Clark, City of North Miami Code Compliance. This property has been heard and adjudicated already. We're here for compliance, minimum housing standards. To date, there has been no improvement on the property. I'd like to resubmit the photos for the record, showing that the roof, showing that the roof of the porch area, the soffit area of the property is still in bad condition, as well as the inside of the property ceiling area. No repairs have been made. I do see an eviction notice on the door. And also, I have gotten in touch with the management company for the bank, found out that the former owner evicted the tenants and then the bank evicted him. So I'd like to submit the photos for the record, and the property is vacant and is in bad condition.
Is it in the same conditions? Because the photographs that you gave me
Yes,
has,
if not worse.
I'm sorry?
Yes, if not worse at this point, with all our recent rain on and off. So it's probably a little worse now.
All right, so it was previously adjudicated, and I find, based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the violation still exists. The $100 daily fine amount is hereby ratified.
The next case is item number 66. Officer Wayne Clark, case number CEXP 2015-00.
Wayne Clark, City of North Miami Code Compliance. The property is homesteaded. This property was cited for exterior paint conditions of the flat tower roof. The owner did have proper service. The owner is aware, being that it was opened up some time ago, and what happened, somehow it got lost and lapsed in the system. But here we are today, and to date has no contact from the owner. And I'd like to submit the photos for the record showing the roof in deteriorated condition.
Okay. Reviewing photographs that were taken today. Tell me about notice for today's hearing.
Tell you about the notice. The property was served May 22nd, 2015. On the property.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, and given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city. I will issue an abatement date of June 30th, 2015, with an abatement amount of $50.
The next case is item number 11. Officer Ernst Baptiste, case number CEMHO 2015-00006. Item number 11.
Ernst Baptiste, Code Enforcement Officer, City of North Miami. This is a minimum opening violation. Case was cited on February 5th, 2015. Certified mail was received on May 27, 2015. It's a new case, non-homestead exempt. and I took pictures today. I have picture too.
All right, these photographs were taken today? All right, by the code enforcement officer. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find, in favor of the city, I find good notice. I find give it proper notice. The owner has failed to appear. I find that the violation does exist. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $50 with an abatement date of June 30th, 2015.
The next case, Officer Ernst Baptiste, CEXP 2015-00104, item number 30.
Ernst Baptiste, code enforcement officer. This is a exterior main residence violation. Requesting the owner to paint the garage door and awnings. Proper notice was posted on the 27th via mail certified. This is a homestead exempt property. I inspected the property today, took pictures, and the garage door is still the same.
Okay, reviewing photograph taken by the code enforcement officer on today's date. All right, based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find good notice. I find given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I find the violation does exist. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $25 with an abatement date of June 30th, 2015.
The next case is item number 26, Officer Ernst Baptiste, case number CEXP 2015-00091, item number 26.
Okay, code enforcement officer Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami. Property was cited on April 21st, on April 4th. Proper notice to appeal was mail certified on the 27th. This is a homestead exempt property. I inspected the house today, took picture of the exterior. This is an exterior main residence violation, requesting the owner to paint, and nothing was done. I took picture today.
Reviewing photographs taken by the code enforcement officer on today's date. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, and given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find in favor of the city and adjudicated guilty. I will issue an abatement date of June 30th, 2015, and a $50 daily fine.
The next case is item number 19, Officer Relan Christie, case number CEXP 2015-00084.
Vidalyn Christie, Code Compliance, City of North Miami Police Department. This is a new case in regards to the exterior maintenance or painting of the property. I have not had any contact with the property owner. The property is vacant. The property was posted with the notice to appear for this particular hearing. Certified mail was sent. Green card has not been returned. And I do have pictures for the record.
Okay. I am reviewing photographs that were taken by the code enforcement officer on date.
5/27.
Okay.
Property looks the same way
Okay.
it has been, and today I did.
Go back on the record.
The photo you're looking at is possibly from the 27th when the property was posted. I did reinspect the property today at approximately 4:45, and there has been no changes.
No changes. All right, based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, and given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find in favor of the city, I adjudicate guilty. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $50 with an abatement date of June 30th, 2015.
The next case is item number 35. Officer Ernst Baptiste, case number CEXP 2015-00191, item number 35. Item number 35, CEXP 2015-00191.
Is it off calendar?
Yes, this is again a exterior main resident violation, to paint the exterior property. And, notice was sent out to appear on the 27th of May. This is a homesteaded property. Picture was taken today. And
Didn't I just see the picture before? Is this the same people?
no, that's 290.
Huh? These are the same photographs that were presented to me in the last case.
What case was that?
I'm sorry?
What? Which one?
Was it
The last one.
620 Northeast 130th Street?
Which is the last case that, for Mr. Baptiste that I saw?
CEXP 2015-000091.
What is this? This photograph looks familiar. I'm sorry. It just said I saw these photographs today already. Interesting. Wondering where this confusion is.
620.
I remember that one. I remember seeing that one, that you're holding, Crystal. I don't remember these, actually. I don't remember these photographs. But I do remember these that you just handed to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, but this is the one.
I've seen. Okay, you may proceed. I don't know why these photographs look familiar, just because this is a new case. I've never seen this, heard this case before, but go ahead.
Yeah, like I was saying, this is only an exterior paint at 290 Northeast 131, and property was posted via mail certified on the 27th, and today those picture was taken.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. I also find proper notice, and given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city and adjudicate this case guilty. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $50 with an abatement date of June 30th, 2015.
The next case is item number 65, Officer Ernst Baptiste, case number CEEXP 2014-00336.
What's the page?
65.
Making sure you're all right, Kristen. You got escort.
This
Hi, Mr.
is
Clark.
case number CEXP 2014-00336, right? This is a exterior main residence violation case to paint the exterior of the resident fascia board in Middle Ward Iron Gate. Case was initially inspected on December 11, 2014. Notice to appeal was sent out on the 27th of May. Today I inspected the house, and I have the right picture.
All right, reviewing photographs taken on today's date by the code enforcement officer. And based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I do find that the violation exists. I find in favor of the city. I also find proper notice, and given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find in favor of the city and adjudicate this case guilty. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $50 with an abatement date of June 30th, 2015.
The next case is item number 68, CEMHO 2014-00074, Officer Ernst Baptiste. Item number 68. And just on record, this case has this particular customer has two cases, number 67 and 68, CEXP 2014-00262 and CEMHO 2014-00074.
We have CEXP 2014-00262. House was cited on back in October 7, 2014. Notice to appear was mailed and sent out via mail certified on the 27th. This is a non-exempt homesteaded property. Picture was taken today showing the peeling, the fascia board and the paint peeling.
All right, reviewing a photograph that was taken by the code enforcement officer on today's date. And based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, and given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city, impose a daily fine amount of $50 with an abatement date of June 30th, 2015.
The next case is CMHAO 2014-00074, item number 68.
This one is a case that was heard before. And on the 27th, certified mail was sent out. And today I went back and took picture. The house still the same.
All right, and the violation is?
The minimum housing opening, the hole in the soffit and the roof.
Okay. All right, reviewing photographs taken by the code enforcement officer on today's date. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation still exists. I find good notice, and given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. The $100 fine, daily fine amount is hereby ratified.
The next case is item number 72, Officer Vidalin Christie, case number CEXP 2015-00040.
Vidalin Christie, City of North Miami Police Department, Code Compliance. This is a new case in regards to the exterior cleaning of the awnings and a few spots on the property. The house appears to be occupied. Property was posted with notice for this hearing. Certified mail was sent to the property. However, no green card was returned, and I do have pictures for the record.
Okay, reviewing photographs taken by the code enforcement officer on 5/27/2015.
And I did re-inspect the property today. There has been absolutely no changes.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, and given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I find in favor of the city. I hereby impose a daily fine amount of $50 with an abatement date of June 30th, 2015.
Thank you.
And that completes all the items on the agenda.
All right, so we are adjourned.